going to be a super quick one, but I did promise to keep you up to date with all the news as the Wild Rift stuff develops. And as it so happens, after I posted my video yesterday looking at the patch notes, some videos were released regarding all of the Yordles that are coming out probably like later this week or next week. I said I would look at them, and I'm gonna have a look at all the abilities for Teemo. First of all, we're gonna do them in a bunch of shorter videos. So if what you want to do is you want to subscribe to the channel if you're not already, if you're just looking at it, there's a good chance that a lot of them have already been posted already if you're looking at this like later on in the day. Otherwise, I'm gonna schedule them for throughout the course of the day if you want to drop the little bell icon or whatever on the channel. But regardless, Teemo is one is actually quite interesting that I want to look at, and I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but he has had some abilities changed, and I think it's going to be worth having a look at, and it might be something that interests you. Now, this is actually from a Chinese channel. I mean, China, I think I've already probably got the patch for this. The link will be in the description if you speak Chinese or if you want to have a look at it yourself. I don't believe that there's a lot of like bigger gameplay stuff on the channel for the champions yet. I don't know if this was just a leak or what have you. Regardless, though, for the English speakers who have absolutely no idea what is going on, I can hopefully break it down for you a little bit. So, Teemo's third ability, or what usually would be his third ability, is his Toxic Shot. This is just being placed straight into his passive for the time being. So from level 1, you are going to have the ability to poison the enemy and get a little bit of ticking damage down. His first ability, which is his Q, his Blinding Dart, still works exactly the same way as it would on the PC version of League of Legends. But the thing about his W is, look at the cute little roll that Teemo does. Look at the cute little roll that Teemo whips out of absolutely nowhere. This is his new W. This is his new second ability. Usually it's just a movement speed increase, but with the new Wild Rift version of Teemo, what's going to be happening is he's going to get like a little bit of like an extra, like almost like a Vayne Tumble or like a Wukong W or a second ability. It's going to give him like a little bit of extra distance to roll into that movement speed as well. His E is super duper interesting as well, because to my recollect, I mean, there's only like Evelyn, I believe. Is there another? I mean, Wukong as well, actually. A couple of champions that have camouflage. Evelyn is one of them, but we've got another camouflage champion coming out. Now, his passive normally on PC is that he goes invisible if he stands still. From what I can gather, this is now an activatable ability. This is going to be his third ability, and honestly, I guess it kind of makes sense. And the way that it's actually implemented, now the person here is standing still, which is usually what Teemo's passive is. You stand still, you go invisible. However, he can move around in this. I think the timer stops if you're standing still, but from my knowledge, you can get a little bit of movement going if you pop this and decide that you want to move away, which is really, really, really cool. Because it seems like he stands still for quite a long period of time. But what ends up happening is you can move around, and then the timer will eventually go off. If you go too near to an enemy though, because you're camouflaged and not technically like stealth, they will detect you and they'll be able to attack you as normal. However, this is going to be fantastic for maybe like, you know, if you're jungle Teemo, maybe, perhaps. If you're playing jungle Teemo, or you're playing like wanting to do a little bit of roaming or what have you, or if you just want to be super duper annoying in top lane, this is going to be exactly the right move for you. Now, his ultimate as well, if you know anything about it, he drops a mushroom on the ground, it blows up in a big toxic cloud and does poison damage. You can bounce mushrooms off each other, works exactly the same way as it does in Wild Rift. I'm not sure how the targeting works though, which is always like a funny thing where like if you're just spamming your ultimate, like sometimes you could fling it at a minion instead of like actually where you want to put it. Might be a little bit finicky, might be a little bit difficult to control, but regardless, it works pretty much exactly the same, except you can see here that the cloud actually lingers a lot longer. Think of it like Singed's Poison Trail, right? Singed's Poison Trail works very, very similar. It lingers on the ground in a big circle, and it makes it a little bit easier for team. You can actually drop it in a team fight, and it would actually make a little bit more sense. So, on the whole, makes Teemo like a little bit interesting. It actually opens up a lot of avenues for what you could do with his ultimate, because normally dropping them in team fights, yeah, it could work, but also, I mean, it tends not to be like the best idea. If you're like in there, you could be using auto attacks to get your passive off, or you could be blinding people or what have you. Regardless, so on the whole, Teemo looking kind of spicy. Teemo looking kind of pogged, and I'm honestly kind of excited to get some proper gameplay done from him. The second that I get a chance to play him on the European servers when he comes out, I will be sure to update you all with the video on this channel. But until then, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you're excited for Teemo, please consider dropping a like on the video. If you hate him, please consider dropping a like on the video anyway. And as I say, there'll be a bunch more of these videos coming out just to give you the up-to-date knowledge of everything that's happening, because like there is not a lot of people doing videos in the West and English-speaking countries for English-speaking people, and it kind of all falls to like somebody to go in and have a look at what's going on in China and hopefully make some content. Regardless, the original video will be in the description if you want to check that out. If you do speak Chinese, then by all means. But have a fantastic day regardless. I hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you probably later on today. It's 6:30 in the morning, and here we are. Have a good one. See you later.